What's up guys, Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Monday, December 13th. Gonna be off the water tomorrow, so we're going to go ahead and shoot this today. Don't know if it'll get on the website online today or if it's going to be tomorrow. Either way, we'll get this out by the end of the day tomorrow. As far as our lake level is concerned, we are at 912.91. Course still drawing water all day, every day. So rumor I've heard is that they're dropping Table Rock because they've got to do some work on the Beaver Dam. So they're going to drop Table Rock, dump a bunch of water out of Beaver into Table Rock, and then they can do the work on the Beaver Dam and hope it refills with flood water. Don't know. We'll see what happens. Water temperature, we haven't changed much, guys. It's been hovering right around 55, 56. I'm down by the dam today. Started today, I think it was like 54.7. Just pulled off the water at noon and it was 55. So water temperature is not going anywhere. The bite, a couple of different bites going on. Deep bite's still strong, but best way to know what's going on, how you can catch them, have a good idea before you get down here what you need to do. Become a pro member, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Get those reports. Daily reports, weekly reports, tournament reports. All that information will help you be a better angler on Table Rock. So check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you have not done so. If you're coming down though, you want to fish the lower end of the lake. You know, best couple of bites going on all over the lake. Right now, the most consistent bite I've got is a deep bite. And the key to the deep bite is finding shad. If you can find the shad, and I'm not just talking little schools, if you can find big schools of shad, you can get bit deep right now. And that's really what I'm doing. I'm going back into the creek arms. I spend a lot of time idling every day because the shad are always on the move. And when I find the shad, I can find the fish. As far as baits I'm using a Kitech 2.8 on a jig head, and I'm either casting it at the fish or dropping it down on top of them. I'm using a drop shot rig with a shad-shaped worm. I'm using a Jewel scuba spoon, and I'm using the Rapala jigging wrap. All those baits are working, and you kind of have to cycle through those baits because fish seem to get a little bit accustomed to one bait or another, and you got to switch up and try something else. So keep that in mind as well. The other bite that's going on, if you get a windy day, cloud cover helps, but even just wind, there is a good crankbait bite down here on a rock crawler or a wigglewort, mostly on mixed rock and gravel points and banks. The only key to that is make sure you're fishing in the wind. You're not going to catch them if you're not fishing in the wind. So fish the wind, you can get bit on a crankbait down here. Go to the mid-lake area, same deal. Good deep bite going on. Most consistent bite is definitely a deep bite. Most of those fish are coming on shad shape on a drop shot, Kitech on a jig head, scuba spoon, or the ice jig. Any of those baits are working. Again, I'm spending a lot of time idling down the creeks, going right down the gut of the creek, finding the shad. When I find the shad, I'll find the fish that want to bite. So you can do that in the mid-lake as well. Again, crankbait bite is working there too. If you get a windy day, wind is the key. You've got to fish in the wind, and if you go out of the wind, you're not going to get bit. But if you fish the wind, rock and gravel mix, points, pockets, banks, all that stuff, those fish are up there, especially smallmouth seem to move up when we get some wind. A little bit of cloud cover makes that bite even better. Go up in the James. The James does have the best crankbait bite anywhere on the lake. It's not nearly as dirty as we think it is, or as we're used to it being. The James is definitely a lot clearer than it normally is, but we are catching fish on a crankbait up there, both a wigglewort and a rock crawler. Most of those fish have been coming on gravel and rock mix points if I've got wind. A day like today, if you can't really see behind me, but the lake's dead slick calm, I'm not going to catch them doing that. I can catch a few on a jig up there, but I can't catch a lot of fish on a jig up there, or I can catch a few deep. Same sort of pattern. I idle back in the creeks, I look for the shad, find the shad, find the fish. It's that simple. There's really no rhyme or reason to the depth. You know, today we caught them over as much as 120, and we caught them as shallow as over 50. So it's just a matter of where the shad are. If the shad are there, you can get bit, you can catch fish. Same deal in the White River. Deep bite is the most consistent bite. Shad shape, Kitech swim bait, scuba spoon, ice bait. I've got all those laying on my deck the entire time I'm out fishing, and I'm looking for shad. I'm just going back in the creeks. Sometimes I have been catching a few on the main lake up the White, but most of my better bite has been in the creeks, and I'm just idling the creeks looking for those big schools of shad. And I mean, schools of shad the size of freight trains, as Del Colvin over on Bull Shoals would say. You need to find those big schools of shad. The little balls of shad are not going to do you any good. And again, idle back, find the shad, you'll find the fish somewhere around the shad. Crankbait bite, again, you get wind, you get a little cloud cover, but wind is the key. You can catch them on gravel and rock mix points, pockets, banks, whatever. It doesn't seem to matter as long as you've got some wind. You can catch them on a wiggle wart, you can catch them on a rock crawler. Guys, we are halfway through December. Fishing's been really good. Last couple of weeks have been really, really good. A lot of fish caught, a lot of keepers caught. We spent a lot of time, this was more of an instructional trip today, and actually went out for an hour and kind of got this guy's graph lined up for him so he can repeat what we were doing today. But I mean, we still had, I don't know, 17, 18 fish, and I'd say at least 12 or 13 of those were keepers. Didn't have any giants, but we had some, you know, big fat Kentuckys, some nice smallmouth, some keeper largemouth, all of them deep. Everything was deep today. We had no wind, so we fished deep, but the bite is really good. And again, best way to stay on top of that, join Table Rock Fishing Intel. Get those reports every day. We've kind of had a little bit of a slack time in video production. We've got some videos out there, but we've got some stuff coming out on this sort of stuff, how to set up your graphs. I'm going to do a video on how I set up my search screen, because that's probably the most important screen on your graph when you were looking for shad and when you're looking for these fish. So join Table Rock Fishing Intel. You get all that stuff every day and know before you go. But if you're coming down, want to hire a guide, want to learn this deep bite, man, now's the time to do it. I don't know how long it's going to last, probably about midway through January, but if you're thinking about coming down, or if you want to learn how to fish deep, get a hold of me. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743, or hit my website, focusfishing.com, and you can either shoot me an email or book online right there. Either way, I get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Take a minute, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so, but thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.